There we go.
Hit my.
Oh,
I got it.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to ACHR Monthly Healing Table.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
This is our one of many
Yes.
healing tables, and I'm going to allow our wonderful lead to share with you guys what is ACHR Healing Table. Turn it over to you, Kayla.
Oh, right. Well, the ACHR Healing Table is something similar to the Red Table Talk, where you have a space to basically cultivate and talk to people about everyday life things, different topics, whether it's anxiety, depression, how to express your emotions, relationships, how to navigate developing relationships. It's just a real group of individuals just sitting here talking, bouncing ideas off of each other, and also developing a social support for each other. So that's what the ACHR Healing Table is.
Yes, and most importantly, here's a few things, housekeeping rules. Housekeeping rules is we are a safe space. We are truly a safe space.
Safe.
Not only are we a safe space, we are a non-judgment space.
Yes.
To each his own, right? We all got our own stories. We all got our own battles, own challenges, and we are coming together to hold space and support each other in life and on this thing called life and on our journey. So, today's topic, this month's topic, is identifying and expressing emotions daily and safely. I'm just going to be so raw and transparent because I that's just me. I don't know any other way, right?
Yeah.
I'm me every day, all day. I do not change. I might get quiet, but I don't change. And so I am an emotional creature. I am emotional. I really know how to sit in my emotions, identify what emotion that I'm having at the time that I'm having it, and I'm able to move past the emotion in whatever capacity I need to move past it. And so me just saying, I'm emotional all the time. I'm for real. But identifying and expressing emotions. So, Kayla, what do you think about, Kayla is a licensed clinical social worker. Let's make sure we got that. She is licensed and she is clinical.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so make sure you note that. Check the box. Check the box.
Thank you.
Please. But yeah, what are your thoughts around emotions? What do you think about emotions, and what are emotions?
Emotions are feelings. You can feel sad, mad, angry, disturbed, hurt. Emotions are just what you're experiencing, what you feel. You can feel it deep down inside. Some people think that anxiety is an emotion, and sometimes it can be because you feel that sinkingness in your chest and your heart. And when you're mad, you get hot, furious. You're ready to go off and do whatever to anybody. A lot of times emotions are downplayed. A lot of times people in different communities, you're not allowed to show your emotions or show that something affects you. And in today's society, I think that's the most important thing, to allow yourself to feel those feelings instead of holding it in. Because when you hold it in, all it does is like a soda that you shake up. At some point when you open that top, it explodes.
Boom.
And it's a mess for everybody. I can attest to that because I used to harbor my feelings and not express my emotions and just kind of be quiet and isolate. And then at some point it overflows and then it affects everybody around you. So
awesome. So I want to share, right, because we're transparent and we're giving what it is we're talking about, but we're also giving real life experiences, analogies, stories, so that you can be able to identify and connect with what it is that we may be going through, or somebody we have interacted with. Jane Doe, we will never give names.
Yeah.
But yeah, serious. So I want to go into yesterday, right? So let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday was an extremely emotional day for me. Not just for me, but for Ella as well.
Yes.
Kayla too. Right? I don't know what it is about this trio right here, but literally we feed off and on each other in positive ways and negative ways. But I will say that, and I'm grateful to say that even when we find ourselves in negative spaces, right, we sense it and we feel it and we lift each other up.
Yes.
We do that.
And that's what it's all about.
Exactly. Yeah. So yesterday I was not feeling well. It was just blah. I just felt ill, right? Nobody did nothing to me, right? I was feeling the woes of just being a leader of this very multifaceted, thriving, expanding organization, right? Yeah, I was feeling the pressures of that. But I was just feeling the mundane of just being black, not a good day. And so yesterday was not a good day. I did a little bit of work. And when I did a little bit of work, it was funny because when I came over to the women's house, Eller, right, you had your day and you was in your emotions, right, and you were crying, right, and so being able to hold space with each other. But yesterday was just not so good day. Would you share, Ella, how you feel as though you process emotions from before you came to Another Chance to now being here at Another Chance? How has it changed for you? Has it changed for you? And what does that look like?
Before coming to Another Chance, I used to just hold everything in, talk to half a person, and I just hold everything in, and I know that, that's not good for a person because, like Kayla stated, if you hold too much in and then it might be the right person, but you take it out on the wrong person, just knowing how to handle that. I've been with ACHR for 2 years, and out of the 2 years, my mentor has coached me on how to handle everything, and I feel safe to come to her. Hey, pray for me. I did that yesterday. Believe me, I said, pray for me, and she said, pray for me too. And I appreciate it because we pick up on each other vibe and spirit and stuff. And I want to say thank you to Kayla because the situation that I had going on, she gave me an exercise to do. And it works. And as soon as she told me yesterday, I immediately started doing my letter. I was typing a letter to my mom because we're not talking right now. I don't have no shame in my game. I love my mom, but we're going through some things. And, Kayla and Miss Shakita was here. You need to do this. So I started it. I'm still adding to it. But as I'm releasing words onto paper, it's feeling good. I'm getting lighter. So I'm very grateful of Another Chance House of Refuge. That's what it's all about, supporting each other. It's not about somebody being in your business, but it's someone here to listen and don't mind listening. You can't go nowhere else and, I need to talk to you. Oh, I'll get you tomorrow. They make sure they handle it. I don't care if it's overnight or whatever the case is. If they don't call you the same night, they're going to reach out the next day and make sure that you're good. That's what ACHR is about, helping. We're not here to judge. That's what it's all about. We're very spiritual, and we try to encourage everybody, even strangers out here. It's going to be okay. Indeed. I had a client, she came up. I had to tell her because God was speaking to me. Look, it's going to be okay. What are you talking about? You just met me. It's weighing on your shoulders. When your shoulders are down, you're being weighed. Mm-hmm. When you're light, you're floating like a butterfly.
Literally.
You're floating. So I'm telling you, anybody out here that need clinical social work, anything, we are here for that to help you, to help you cope through it because friends that you say that's your friends ain't your friends because a real friend won't sit and talk about you behind your back. Whatever you go to them about, it should stay there. And that's what ACHR, whatever we discuss here, it stays here and we move on to the next day.
With that being said, our group chat, everybody got a group chat, right? We ain't letting y'all in on our group chat because our group chat be chatting. You hear me? It be chatting. I'm trying to tell you. But that is a great segue, Ella, into coping skills because you shared that, yesterday we were both blue, right? And Kayla gave you a coping mechanism to help you release those emotions. And that was writing a letter, right? Penning a letter to your mother. That's a coping skill. That's a coping mechanism. That's something that you got. Take note. Because if you can't express them out loud, write it on paper, it's still the same. It still works, right? And so for me yesterday, my coping mechanism, my coping skill was I took the children to school. I just woke up blue. I did. Like I literally, I woke up blue and I was like, I ain't feeling this. So I took the children to school, did my mama duties, and I came home and I had a meeting. But before my first meeting, I went in my backyard and I just laid out in my hammock. I just laid there.
Relax.
Right. I laid there and I just stared up in the sky. I didn't do anything. I just laid there. And then I got up and started doing my work. And then after that, right, I went and got the children. Had to pick the children up from school. Picked the children up from school, went and got the stuff from my dinner or whatever, and came on home and finished dinner, and I was still feeling blue. Like I was just, but not only was I feeling blue, but I was voicing that, hey, I don't feel good today.
Yeah.
On the scale, I have this thing as on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. How was your day?
Yep.
How are you feeling? And so I did that with my children. I did that with my partner. And it's funny because all of our numbers were close. That's funny, right? Yeah, kind of close. So RJ was the only number that was high. And it's funny because when he got home from school, he was crying.
Oh,
and he took a nap. But after he took a nap, he woke up, coping skill, coping mechanisms, naps do work.
Yes.
But he was like, well, he got up and I'm very intentional about asking my children how they're feeling and checking in with them. And I was like, well, how are you feeling? Are you feeling a little better? He was like, yeah. And I said, so on the scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling? He was like, a 9. Okay. I was like, what? Really? And you were just crying, cool, kudos to me. I said, okay, Taylor, how are you feeling? She said, oh, I'm a 6. I'm like, okay, well, I guess what? I'm a 5 today, y'all. I'm really a 5, and I'm not feeling it. And so, we went on about, we interacted with each other, and then I went back outside to the hammock. Right? I love nature. Anyone that knows me, they know I love nature. They know I love water. They know I love mountain. They know I love nature.
Yep.
And so I went back out in my hammock, but this time, because it was evening, this time I went out and I had my phone with me and I turned my gospel music on, and I was just laying there listening to the gospel music. And just laying there and listening to the gospel music, and, came on in the house probably about 30 minutes to an hour later. And I was a little better. Yeah, I was a little better, and I got my shower and I went to bed. And then today I'm just like, But those are the things that we have to work through our emotions. My emotion yesterday, I was just like, ugh. Like it wasn't a real feeling. It was just like a funky thing. It was something funky. I couldn't put my finger on the funky. It was just funky, and I wasn't feeling the funky. Ella, your emotion was what? That of sadness?
Of sadness.
Yeah. So your emotion was that of sadness. Kayla, do you have any emotion that you want to share? Or anything you want to share?
Well, yesterday I didn't really have any emotion. I was just Kayla. I was just here. But I will say, we got technical difficulties in the recording.
We are.
But I will say that when someone asks you, are you okay, or how you're feeling, say exactly how you're feeling. I'm a person that says, oh, I'm okay, or nothing's wrong. And it's a whole lot going on or a whole lot wrong. When you say, are you okay? And I say, oh, I'm not okay. That's you expressing your feelings. And you have to have that safe space where you can talk to yourself or write it down on a plate and say, I'm angry, I'm mad, I'm sad. And then go break the damn plate. Break it.
Period.
You are breaking away all of those feelings. And it does work. It sounds cliche, but it does work. I've seen it work on a lot of people. And it's worked for me too. So be open with your emotions, and sometimes it's okay to say, no, I'm not okay.
Indeed. And I was just watching, before this, while I was working on the computer, I was listening to a podcast. Michelle Obama and her brother Craig got a new podcast. Y'all know about it? Oh, gosh. They had about 5 interviews now. I listened to the one with Taraji.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and it was just, you're graded. One of the most powerful words in this universe is no. Is no. Complete sentence. Snaps.
There you go.
Finger snaps. It's a no. And so I've learned that. And I feel okay about it. I actually feel good about it. When I say no and they go and feel a certain way, well, guess what? That's not my problem. That's yours. That saved me some time and some energy and some oomph. But yeah, definitely acknowledging this phone. These things just don't want to work with us today. It's going to be all right, though, because you're going to work for us. But yeah, even just standing in trust, knowing that emotion, knowing what the emotion is. Another great thing with your emotions, as Kayla shared, with breaking something, right? Crying is good. Taking a nap is good. Screaming. Going outside and screaming, or in the house, screaming to the top of your lungs. It works. Yeah, so many different coping mechanisms for you to utilize to help yourself process. Know that emotions are healthy. Emotions are a natural part of being human. And so the quicker you are able to embrace the many different emotional waves that you're going to go through on your journey of life, the easier you'll be able to flow through life. And so we're here at ACHR. We're not going to take up your time. We wanted to come in. ACHR Healing Table, one of many. We host it every third Wednesday of the month. Every third Wednesday of the month. We'll do it here virtually, but you can also come in person for that more personable experience, more intimate setting. Any questions, any comments, or any topic ideas?
Yes.
Please
Send them to us. We'll see you next month, the third Wednesday of every month. Come see us in person, 3325 Washburn Avenue, Suite 212. We're not in the Suite 212. We're in the conference room. And so you're going to come in the conference room. We love to eat. So we're going to have some snacks. We're going to have some hors d'oeuvres. We're going to have some drinks. We're going to have something. But you better come see us, right? Health is wealth.
Yes.
And we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay!
Well, that one ended good.